fucking take it anymore. I confronted my parents a month ago. I'm 19, and they completely invalidated my feelings. I simply asked them why I didn't have foreskin, and they reacted like I just spat in their face. They instantly got defensive and hostile. It turned into a vicious argument, and I told them I wanted to kill myself because I was circumcised. And my dad literally smirked, like he found it entertaining. As for their fight, I went through decades worth of family photos and sentimental objects and ripped apart nearly every fucking thing I put my hands on. Up until this fight, I never had screamed at anyone before, and the anger I felt from their gaslighting was the most intense I'd ever experienced in my life. I was literally trembling and growling like an enraged animal. My mom found the things I destroyed later on. I left everything in a giant pile. I was immensely pleased to watch her break down in tears and start sobbing over everything that I had torn apart. Interesting how she cares more about worthless pieces of paper than what was her newborn baby's intake genitals. A couple of weeks ago, I got a random flash of rage. I think most of you can relate to this. I got triggered out of nowhere and started mentally torturing myself over what was forcefully taken away from me for no fucking reason, and then became uncontrollably enraged again. Both of them were asleep, but they woke up and rushed to my room when they heard me pound my door with my fists. They came in to find me crunched up into a ball with my hands covered my face. My bitch mother started trying to comfort me by explaining again why I was circumcised. She said, what we did was in your best interest. Then I fucking lost it. I turned to face her, and I probably looked like I was ready to claw her fucking eyes out. I asked how it was in my best interest. She kept dodging the question, saying that I was only overcomplicating things and reading stuff online. I kept pressing, and she eventually came up with an excuse. She said that she had been with a man years ago who was intact, and she thought his genital looked gross, and it smelled because he didn't wash it. She also stated that I had been cut when I was just a day old. She said it like she was proud of it, and to top it all off, she also stated the foreskin was just meant to be removed, like an umbilical cord. Her leg of understanding covers healthy human anatomy is nucid and wow. They perform an invasive, irreversible, and pointless body load modification on me without even knowing the potential consequences of removing the body parts I was meant to have. Any parent who actually lives and cares for their children would never perform such profane surgery without even trying to learn about its potential consequences. And they never even consider the possibility that I, as a future grown man, might not like being circumcised. I was in their decision to make. It was my fucking body, not her personal property to break apart and abuse because of her sick preferences. I was strapped down, tortured, molested, violated, and permanently disfigured for that reason. She thought normal, non-mutilated penises were gross. A healthy and functional part of my sex organ with tens of thousands of nerve endings and extremely sensitive and delicate anatomy perfectly designed for the sole purpose of giving you mind-blowing orgasms and incredible sexual pleasure forcefully torn off with sharp tools and toes into a bag of medical waste like it's nothing but trash, because she thought it looked weird. I was forced into economic cosmetic surgery against my consent and left with the disfigured and barely functional sex organ because my entitled and horrendously ignored mother just wanted it. I did not require this surgery at all. It was not medically necessary in the slightest. This turned into another screaming argument between us, and I broke a chair. I repeatedly screamed at them that I wanted to die, and my mother didn't offer any amount of sympathy or emotional support. She was more interested in defending herself and gaslighting me that making sure I didn't walk downstairs and cut my wrists open. Once the anger faded, the sheer fucking magnitude of my lows crippled me, and I fell apart into a sobbing mess. drove me to ER right after because if I had stayed home, I likely would have gotten violent or committed suicide. I stayed in a psyche ward for 11 hours. Over the course of that time, 5 doctors came in to speak to me. I guess they were trying to determine if it was safe to let me out. Of the 5, one doctor seemed to appreciate what I was going through, and another doctor further invalidated my feelings by telling me that this whole problem was just in my head, and justified MGM for the sake of hygiene. This bitch literally told me just be confident, and that'll fix all my problems. I've got almost no sleep over the past 3 days. The past month has been filled with traumatized fits of anxiety and overwhelming grief, the last of which I've never experienced before. It's the worst pain I've ever felt, literally an emotional agony. Anytime I look at my organ, I'm reminded of the fact that I was abused, violated, betrayed, and permanently humiliated on the very first day of my life. The first experience of sexual touch I had was a doctor literally ripping up a part of my sex organ and crushing my frenulum with tools specially designed to mutilate and injure babies. What kills me the most is the scar. It is absolutely hideous. My jaw calloused, I don't know how to pronounce this word, shriveled optic is already embarrassing enough, but the scar across our recall just looking at it, I can see exactly where the device was clamped down and where the foreskin was ripped off. I can even feel it. I can feel a noticeable bump if I rub my finger against it. So no matter what I do during the day, I can often feel the exposed glands uncomfortably grinding against the inside of my underwear. It's almost painful, and it is obviously not meant to be permanently uncovered. Masturbation is horrible. Even when I touch my glands, it feels like rubbing my hands against the bottom of my foot. It's impossible for me to engage my genitals in sexual pleasure without feeling some level of pain or discomfort. And the fucking betrayal. I thought my parents lived and respected me. I thought they were meant to protect me so many times. They were telling me that they are the best parents in the world, and they'll always be there for me. They felt their one, and all this up less than 24 hours after I was born. They went out of their way to have me abused and tortured because they wanted to do something with dysfunctional genitals. The first thing they wanted to do to me after I was born was to have my fully functional and healthy organ permanently disfigured because they prefer babies with injured genitals. And when I asked them 19 years later why they did this to me, they get defensive and try to emotionally manipulate me into thinking that I'm in the wrong, and then I should be thanking them. I do not love them anymore. My hatred for their existence cannot be put into words. Every time I see them, I want to claw their fucking eyes out. Whenever they speak, I want to wrap my hands around their necks, strangle them to death. I absolutely fucking hate them, and I will until the day I die. I want them to burn hell while I was laughing. When they die, I'll find their grave and piss on it. I'll dedicate time and effort into running their physical and mental well-being to give them a taste of the psychological hell they chose to put me through. My father is a pathetic coward with no backbone who blindly does what he is told to do by cultural norms. I don't consider him a real man, and I feel sick whenever I see him. My mother is a retarded bitch that can't make decisions on her own and doesn't believe in human rights and bodily autonomy. If I saw them both get hit by a car in front of me, I would walk over to their dead bodies just to spit on them. I've been doing foreskin restoration for 9 months. I've seen some progress, but let's be real, it's a fucking joke. Yes, you can expand the foreskin, gain sensitivity, etc., but you'll never regrow the intricate and unique structures that were amputated. You'll never know what it feels like to have a genital that functions the way nature intended, no matter how much you restore. And even if I could restore everything perfectly, that still wouldn't undo the living hell I've gone through and the unforgivable betrayal my parents committed. I'm still going to keep restoring because it's easy and I want the glands to be covered, and I'm not gonna pretend like this is really undoing anything. I think the attitudes you see in commonly expressed in restoration communities are false and downright pathetic. This idea that restoration is a healing process I enjoy and look forward to is so laughable that I find it almost offensive. And the belief that you need to forgive your parents and the people who supported your mutilation in order to move on and heal just makes me fucking angry. Do not, under any condition, suggest that these acts are forgivable, and that I should accept what was done to me. Will it leave me feeling more hateful and bitter in the long run? Yes, it sure will. But that's an appropriate response to the horror of circumcision. I think that being the nice guy and forgiving people who commit these acts is the wimpest and most pathetic thing you can do in this situation. Just fucking embarrassing. I'm not trying to invalidate restorers. If you are restoring your foreskin, it makes you happier and healthier as a person, then I completely respect that. But I'll not pretend like this will undo what has happened to me or anyone. And anyone who tells me to accept my mutilation and forgive my parents so that I can be at peace can fuck off. I'd rather die full of bitterness and hatred and with integrity than to die as someone who chose to be a coward and remain willfully ignorant of the horrible magnitude of what was done to them. How the fuck am I supposed to be happy, live myself, and take care of my body when I have this disgusting, disfigured, and hideous-looking penis? The scarred lawn makes me want to kill myself. My circumcised state makes me hate my body. I can't look at myself naked without feeling ashamed and broken. I can't strive towards a happy life and respect myself as a man when every interaction I have with my genitals is a horrible reminder that I'll never experience sexual pleasure as I should. My dry stick is like an implant on my body that prevents me from feeling any amount of love or respect towards myself. An agonizing reminder that I'm forced to carry with me for my entire life, that I'll never go away. It reminded that I was only allowed to keep my healthy, functioning organ for one fucking day before its almost delicate and sensitive part was ripped off and tossed into a disposal as medical waste. How can I not want the world to burn? How can I not want to kill myself and be freed up from this never-ending nightmare? I feel like suicide is the only way out of this. It hurts so bad, and I don't think I can tolerate this much longer. I don't look forward to leaving anymore, and nothing excites me. I dread every day I have to live, and I just want this to be over.